Dude, do you even know where you're going?
Yeah, I so know where I'm going. I've been in these woods all my life. It would be criminal if I didn't know where I was right now.
Mm-hmm. So when you all like, hey, I know this awesome shortcut through the woods, your definition of a shortcut was a half an hour randomly walking through the woods? Nice. I'll be sure to take your shortcuts more often.
Look, we aren't lost. We're just taking a detour, is all. I thought nature walk might be nice. Besides, it's good weather outside.
Yes, because whenever I think of nice, I think of creepy dark woods. Always the first thing that comes to mind. And being around it so soon after Halloween doesn't help matters.
What? Do you feel like some creep in a mask is going to pop out and pull a knife on us? Like that would do any good.
Still, doesn't change the fact that we're lost.
Detour, not lost.
Well, looks like we probably aren't gonna make any headway for a bit. Want to hear a story to pass the time?
Sure, fire away.
Alright then. This is a weird story about my family going on a vacation trip to Florida. We lived in Albany, Indiana, in an older house in the country. This happened in about 1992 or 1993. We'd been planning this trip for weeks, and my husband wanted me to get plenty of sleep before we left in the early morning. For once, we had plenty of money so that we could have a wonderful time with the kids. I couldn't sleep because of all the excitement. I was sure I would forget something important, but I tried. It wasn't long before my husband came into the room and asked quietly if I was asleep. I had my head covered up because I don't like the light when I'm sleeping. I said, "I'm trying." He leaned over my bed with his knee on it to give me a kiss, and when I covered my head, there was a face floating in front of his, smiling wickedly. The image was like you would imagine an old pirate. Beard, long, ugly black hair, bloated face, wicked smile. I screamed. I had never screamed in my life. I covered up my head. He turned on the light and looked all around for whatever I saw. He said, "You must have been asleep. You scared me to death." But when he convinced me to uncover my head and look at him, it was still there. And I screamed even louder. It terrified me so. The image finally left him, but I still felt uneasy about the trip. I wanted to delay it indefinitely. But we got up early in the morning and left for Florida about 5 a.m. We had problems all the way with the car. It wasn't very old and had never happened before. But here we were, stalled for hours. We replaced 4 batteries and other stuff and started off again. When we finally reached the Florida line, we thought it wouldn't be more than 6 hours more, but we were wrong. More car troubles. So far, $1,800 in repairs. We got it fixed and stopped at a motel. My husband took the 3 kids to the go-kart track next door and entertained them the best he could, and got them fast food, etc. We were so stressed that by morning, we decided to turn the car around and head for home. We turned the radio on in the car and heard that in the opposite direction, on the same highway, there was a 40-car pileup just a few miles from us. If we had gone on, we would have been involved in the mess.
Well, that makes me feel a lot better about traveling like this now. Though, at least we haven't seen any freaky faces yet. So that must be a good sign.
Except yours.
Aww, that hurt. Didn't you ever learn that if you don't have anything nice to say, that you don't say it at all?
Well, that's what happens when you get us lost like this.
I'm telling you, we're like 5, maybe 10 minutes away from getting to the end of this trail. Besides, by the time I'm done with my story, we'll be out of here before you know it.
Sure, if you say so. But I swear, if we pass by that same chopped-down stump one more time, we're gonna turn around and take the normal way.
Well, I've got no worries then. So gonna show you that I totally know where I'm going. So anyways, it starts out like this. My mom and my brother were both killed in a tornado when I was 18. Scott had just turned 20. We had always been a close-knit family. Very open with our feelings, and I was raised to treat every goodbye as if it was the last time I'd ever talk to the person. Tomorrow isn't promised, so tell your friends and family you love them while they're still here. You know, that kind of stuff. It was one of our biggest and most firmly planted habits to say, "I love you," before hanging up the phone. In fact, my brother accidentally said it to his friends a couple of times. Which is, of course, a big no-no for guys. I had nightmares for a long time after they were killed. It's been 12 years and I still have them from time to time. But one dream in particular stands out. It is different. It wasn't a nightmare, and I don't know how to explain it, but I don't believe it was a dream at all. In the dream, I picked up the phone and tried to call my dad at work. There was a click as though the phone was disconnected, but then it started ringing again. And Mom answered. I'd somehow managed to call her in heaven. We had a good and long conversation, and I told her about school, because I just started college. We talked about everything and nothing. Just like we always would. I asked if I could talk to Scott, but she said he was busy. Something about girls, but she'd tell him hi for me. By the time I could feel that I was waking up, and she said she'd have to go, but that she would always be watching over me. Before we hung up, I said, "I love you." I was already fully awake, but I heard her say, "I love you too." I heard it as if she had been sitting next to me. And I believe that this wasn't a dream. But maybe my mom wanting one last conversation with me. it had to be when I was asleep. Because I'd think I was losing my mind if it had happened while I was awake. I know I heard her voice after I awoke. There is no doubt about that. I only wish that I could have spoken to my brother one last time as well.